is song number 2 on the Songs of Freedom playlist. Beautiful song. If you're looking forward to just the lesson part of it, you can fast forward. I'll put a timestamp right there. Or if you're here to hang and talk about the rest of the tune here and some of the context between Bob Marley and Joe Strummer from The Clash, that's kind of like where we'll start. It is the last song on the final album that the Wailers recorded together. It's one of the only songs of his that is arranged this way, where it's just a singer and a acoustic guitar. Sounds a little more like Bob Dylan than Bob Marley. That's may not be totally coincidental. There could be a little bit of a merging, mutual admiration there, and certainly that's the key term when we look at Joe Strummer and Bob Marley as well. So we'll break it down. Joe Strummer's cover version appears on his last recorded effort, Streetcore, with a Mescaleros band, and he'd recorded a couple albums with them. Most of the time we think of Joe as being associated with The Clash, and so there's definitely a lot of amazing music to mine through there. But Bob Marley had seen The Clash live early on. There was a time where Bob name checks The Clash in his song Punky Reggae Party. Both artists, lives were cut short. Joe lived to be 50, Bob lived to be 35. The song itself is beautiful, very simple, very much like a folk song, partially inspired by the assassination of Medgar Evers. The message in this song is to be self-reliant, the idea of emancipating yourself from mental slavery. Very different than some of his other songs, Get Up, Stand Up, or I Shot the Sheriff. I've thought about this a lot, this song, of what it really means, and I think putting it in that folk format also made it very palatable for almost anyone, and it could become something that's, a fire pit sing-along, but really at the time, I think it sort of was like compressing a lot of the tension down into this little diamond, asking for, help to sing. It's welcoming people into it, and it's not something that is kind of spitting in the face of authority. It's something that's basically inviting maybe the next generation, your kids are going to listen to this and your kids are going to get it. And that's where the changes are going to happen in a generational way here. Let's get down to the playing part of it. I'll go through it once without the capo. The capo just ends up here on the 3rd fret and brings it up. When you take a look at the key of G, up that scale, and this scale of G, very similar to E minor. They all have the same notes, so if you merge them together, you're pulling notes from that key, from the parent key of G. The tab here for you to check out, here or there. All right. So there's your intro, pretty simple. The 2 times in the Bob Marley version, the last time he just doesn't telegraph that walk down, he just goes, as opposed to the chords themselves, G, E minor, C, walking down, tagging that B note, A minor. You can make it A minor 7 if you like. But then again, this is for all the verses. Each time that it does that, it's walking down to that A minor, and then the last time before the chorus, this little kind of a pre-chorus, a little hook or a little lift there. It walks down from the C and then to a D. Chorus, C, G, C, D. Then again, C, D, then to the E minor, then C, D, G, again. You got that musical break, E minor. So it's temporarily visiting on that E minor feel. So instead of being loyal to the G, it's loyal to this relative minor. And then it comes back for another verse. All right, in the end of the song, it kind of chugs on that A minor, and then it tags on this. So that's kind of a cool little cliffhanger there, like it kind of pierces the ear in the last in the last moment there of that, with adding that little F sharp to it, which is kind of a cool choice. And that's the whole gig, all right? And so give it a shot. It's a great song to sing along to. Definitely check out Coma Girl and other tunes that are on that Streetcore album. There's a lot of really cool stuff on there, great sound. And obviously Bob Marley's catalog is incredible too, so dig in. If you like this one, there's going to be others in the same Songs of Freedom playlist, as well as others featuring Heartland rockers to come as well. So check out some of those playlists, and hope you had fun. See you on the next one.
Oh, pirates, yes, they are mine, so nigh to the merchant ships. The minutes after they took out from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. Wherefore triumphantly, won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? They're all I ever had. Redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can change our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long must they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? They say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill